Hi, friends. Today we're going to try to escape from an evil dog in Roblox. It's right behind us, but it seems to be sleeping. So for now, we're safe.
Hi everyone! Not only do we have challenges ahead, but also boss battles. By the way, if you know the name of this dog, let us know in the comments.
Sheriff Labrador, what if we jump on her belly?
Let's do it, but be ready in case she wakes up, don't worry.
I think she's stuffed and watched TV all night.
Yeah, looks like we need to crawl through the vents. But there's parkour ahead. Good thing I did that back in school.
Oh no, you accidentally broke her mom's vase. Looks like she's sleeping soundly. Hope she won't notice when she wakes up.
Let's quickly pass through and slip away. Oh, here's a huge room. See those metal platforms? We need to press a button.
I wonder why this dog created all these challenges. I don't think she could handle them herself, although they could be useful for maintaining health.
Wow, it's a rope bridge. I used to ride one of those when I was a kid. Maybe she built all these obstacles so no one could disturb her sleep. But here we are, trying to escape from her. Strange that she kidnapped us. Look, she has a family. Why can't we see them? And who's the guy in the picture on the left? Looks like Tom's friend.
I have a theory. We've entered a world of talking animals. Maybe this is hell because no one wants to be forced to talk, especially about things they don't want to.
Probably. She built all these trials to avoid the fate of endless conversations. Now we need to find the others and figure out why we were kidnapped.
Maybe they kidnapped us so we'd replace them in conversations and they could be free? Or maybe they feed on other animals and that gives them the ability to talk? Or maybe they're just a little crazy. We need to focus on getting out of here and figuring out what's going on.
We need to crawl through the vents. It's the way to the next location. Hopefully we'll meet some new characters.
Look, it's Talking Tom!
Oh, he fell!
Get ready to run.
I don't think he has good intentions. Have you ever seen Tom with red eyes? He looks like he's ready to crush us like pancakes. Looks like he's about to start shooting lasers.
What if he can do more than just talk? We'll need superpowers to apprehend the suspects.
Why is he hiding around the corner? Did he think we couldn't see him?
Maybe he's a little dumb or just sleepy and disoriented.
He has funny little teeth like a baby. You know, he even seems a little cute to me.
Oh, looks like you like all of this. Hope you don't start turning into one of them. Are you in a trance or something?
I don't know. Hope I'm not getting absorbed by this atmosphere. If something happens, let me know.
Of course, let's go through the vent. We've already dealt with Tom. Let's see who's ahead. Looks like a kid's room.
Maybe it's Ben's room?
You're right, it's a girl. I wonder what her name is and if she's facing the same problem as Ben.
While you were talking, we're already in her paws. Why did we get teleported back? I don't think she's as evil as Tom.
I think so too. If she wanted to bite us, she would have gotten out through the bars. There are huge gaps in them.
Oh, her name is Lily. Strange that there's no room for her brother. Why are they separated like that? Let us know in the comments if you have a brother or sister and live in the same room.
What if something happened to her brother? Maybe that's why everyone went crazy and thinks we killed him.
Dobie, you're daydreaming again. It's distracting us from our main goal. I don't think it's as scary as you think.
We're in the central ventilation system that provides oxygen to the entire complex. I wonder what we can leave as a souvenir here.
It was an ordinary night when Dobie and I were patrolling the city of animals. Nothing unusual until a strange light appeared in the sky. It was pulsing, changing colors, and moving like it was alive. I immediately realized it wasn't a meteor or a regular drone. We decided to approach it. When we got to the deserted park, the light grew brighter and descended right in front of us. We stopped, turned on the sirens, and began observing. And then, from that light, dogs began to emerge.
I thought it was some kind of illusion, but no, these dogs look nothing like us. They were large, with bright, almost glowing eyes. Some of them wore metal collars, which were clearly more than just decorations. I felt something stir inside me. It was like encountering something completely different. They approached us confidently, as if they knew exactly what they were doing.
They didn't look like ordinary dogs. Their behavior was calm, but determined, and their eyes held such confidence that it was immediately clear. They weren't random visitors. One of the dogs, who seemed to be the leader, stepped forward and stood on its hind legs. It looked at us, and we realized that it wasn't just trying to scare us, it was trying to communicate. It began explaining that they came from another world, where everything is the opposite. There, dogs are the rulers, and humans are the pets.
I couldn't believe my ears. It felt like something out of a science fiction movie. These dogs claimed that their civilization was much older and more advanced than ours. They traveled between worlds, and now that they had found ours, They wanted to propose an exchange. We, the dogs, should become pets in their world, and they would become the masters in ours. And to do this, they were willing to use their technology to move us there.
I was stunned. We, the dogs, would become pets, and these creatures, strange as it sounded, would take our place. But their confidence in this proposal was so strong that there was no point in doubting. They said their world was one of harmony and order, where dogs rule and humans serve as pets. I felt that this wasn't just a random appearance of aliens. It was a proposal that could change everything.
I kept trying to wrap my head around what they were offering us. Exchange. It wasn't just a word. It meant that our world would change forever. We could try living on the other side, in their world, where dogs were rulers and humans were our pets. We could experience a life we'd never known and see how everything worked there. But I also realized that if we agreed, we would never return.
We were faced with this choice: exchange worlds, become pets in another world, or stay in ours. But knowing that would mark the end of ordinary life. I didn't know what to do, but in their eyes, I saw sincerity. This was more than just an offer. It was an opportunity. We could change not just our lives, but also understand what it meant to be part of another reality.
When they offered to use their technology to travel between worlds, I felt my heart race. It seemed unbelievable, but the thought that we could become part of their world was inevitable. Dogs ruling humans. Life in another world. I didn't know what awaited us, but I was sure of one thing. From this moment on, everything would change.
The day Dobie and I received the call, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. We were patrolling the streets of Animal Town, as usual, when our radar beeped. It was an emergency call, and when we heard what was happening, I felt my heart race. Something terrible was approaching. An evil scientist, known for his bizarre inventions, was threatening to launch a machine that could turn rain into a shower of sweet candy. It seemed harmless. What could be wrong with candy rain? But we knew the consequences could be catastrophic.
As soon as we heard about the scientist's plan, we knew exactly what was at stake. Candy rain wasn't just a fun prank. Sheriff and I knew that too much sugar was a serious threat. If this rain actually fell, all the kids would get toothaches. But it wasn't just that. We all know how hard it is to control the urge to eat a candy. What if there were too many of them? It could lead to severe dental issues and even health problems. We had to act fast.
We sped through the city, and with each passing kilometer, the sense of urgency grew. The scientist, as always, couldn't just leave people alone. He was insanely confident in his plan and didn't think about the consequences. In his lab, a massive machine was already prepared to launch the candy rain.
When we got to the location, everything was ready. The scientist was standing by his machine, surrounded by a tangle of wires and mechanisms that clearly didn't look safe. We immediately realized that time was running out. The machine had already started launching the first candies into the air. They were falling with great speed, like rain, but instead of water, it was caramel, chocolate.
Well, here we are. Behind this door, we've got the map's final boss waiting for us, and it looks like we were wrong. This isn't just any boss. It's a giant robot named Ben. Let's try shooting him right in the teeth. I'm aiming for his legs. Maybe that's his weak spot and he'll fall.
Wow! Ben turned out to be a real coward. Instead of fighting, he just built a giant robot.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he were sitting in a chair right now, sipping coffee and watching a movie. I hope it's not alcohol, though.
And he's probably watching football while we're attacking him. This is so unfair. When we got to the location, everything was ready. The scientist was standing by his machine, surrounded by a tangle of wires and mechanisms that clearly didn't look safe. We immediately realized that time was running out. The machine had already started launching the first candies into the air. They were falling with great speed, like rain, but instead of water, it was caramel, chocolate, and lollipops. I quickly assessed the situation. If we didn't intervene, tomorrow all the kids would be in trouble. As soon as we turned off the machine, the sweet rain stopped.
Wow, we won! Don't forget to congratulate us in the comments, but it's time to leave this crazy world of talking animals.
Well, I guess it's time to say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed our escape from the talking animals.
Yeah, don't forget to leave comments, like, and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us. Also, check out our other videos and let us know what you'd like to see next. Time to move on. Let's go to new adventures. Wait, what's going on over there? I hope that's not a giant ginger robot. Or Angela. Bye. Hello, friends. It's me again, Sheriff Labrador, and today we have a special episode.
Hi, everyone. Yes, Sheriff Labrador, I am already excited.
Together with my loyal partner, Sheriff Dobie, we will tell you about the most beautiful and challenging mode in Roblox. Escape the Carnival of Terror Obby.
This mode is simply incredible. You enter a mysterious and eerie carnival full of dangers and unexpected twists.
Let's start from the very beginning. As soon as you enter the game, you are greeted by a spooky carnival lit only by dim lanterns. Dangerous traps and evil ghost clowns patrolling the area are scattered everywhere. Your task is to avoid them at all costs.
Exactly. The first stage is a maze of inflatable castles. You need to be very careful and quick not to fall into the clown's hands. I advise you to watch your step carefully to avoid the traps.
Yes, and that's just the beginning. Next, you will face the mirror room, where it is easy to get lost. The main thing here is to remember the path and not to panic. Mirrors can be deceiving, so don't let them confuse you.
And don't forget about the Ferris wheel. It looks beautiful, but inside it is full of dangerous mechanisms. You need to be very attentive and not stop, so you don't end up in a trap.
We need to go through these rusty pipes. Oh no, the fire touched us. We'll have to start over. And of course, we can't forget about the final part, the escape through the horror attraction. This is the most challenging part, where you will have to use all your skills and agility to reach the exit.
Friends, this mode is truly amazing. It is not only challenging, but also incredibly beautiful. We are sure you will love it. We are now in the very heart of the Carnival of Horrors, in the house of the Clownity. Just look at this grim place. We have to complete a parkour over old stinky pipes, and below us lies an abyss.
Yes, this is really frightening. The stinky pipes are not just a test of our agility, but also a true test of endurance. The foul smell is awful, but we need to focus and move forward.
Watch your step, Sheriff Labrador. If we slip, we'll fall into that bottomless pit. We need to be extremely careful and watch every step we take. Let's take this slowly and steadily.
Good plan, Sheriff Dobie. Do you see that narrow pipe ahead? We need to jump onto it and then move along the wall. The key is not to rush and to maintain our balance.
Great, I'm ready. Go ahead, Labrador, you first. I'll cover you. This is probably one of the toughest stages in this mode, but we'll make it, right?
Of course, Dobie. We're a team. Okay, one jump, then another. Carefully. Got it. Now it's your turn, Dobie.
Got it. I'm coming. One jump, another. Yes, I did it. Now we need to walk along this narrow pipe. It's slippery, so hold on tight.
Now we are in the scariest part, the torture room. There are saws everywhere, and we need to somehow make our way through this madness and get outside, where the clown's amusement park awaits us.
Yes, this is a real nightmare. These saws spin so fast that one mistake could cost us our lives. We need to move very carefully and precisely time our actions.
Look, Dobie, the saws move in a specific pattern. If you watch closely, you can catch the moment when they stop for a split second. That's when we need to dash through.
I made it through too. Can't you see me? Wow, look at this beautiful amusement park. The Ferris wheel, roller coasters, and so much more.
We're now running away from the scariest clown in this carnival. He wants to turn us into his dolls, and we urgently need to find a way to escape. Look, ahead of us is the Ferris wheel. That's our chance to get out.
Up, up! The clown is still behind us. Let's go, Labrador. We can do this.
Yes, we're at the top. What a view! From here, we can see the entire carnival. The clown won't catch us here.
Phew, that was intense. But we did it, Labrador. Now we're safe.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us likes. It's the best gift from you that each of you can give us.
For subscribing, I'll tell you a secret story. Our adventure began when we received an urgent call to the amusement park. Who would have thought that a giant dinosaur would appear in this creepy carnival and start wreaking havoc?
Yes, when we arrived, the scene was just terrible. The dinosaur knocked over the Ferris wheel, and it started rolling towards the sea. We realized that if it wasn't stopped, there would be big problems.
The first thing we did was try to get the dinosaur's attention so it would stop destroying the park. Labrador, do you remember how we used loud noises to distract it?
Of course, Dobie. We started sounding sirens and launching fireworks. It worked, and the dinosaur temporarily stopped. This gave us some time to figure out how to stop the Ferris wheel.
The wheel was almost at the sea when we realized we could use construction cranes to hold it back. We quickly climbed the nearest cranes and started moving them towards the wheel.
It was tough, but we made it in time. We stopped the wheel and it ceased rolling. Meanwhile, the dinosaur started moving towards us again.
We knew we had to act quickly. While Labrador was dealing with the wheel, I went to find a way to calm the dinosaur. I found a big net and some strong tranquilizers. Just in time, we managed to sedate the dinosaur before it could start destroying everything again.
It was a real team effort. We saved the amusement park and prevented a huge disaster. Friends, always remember that in such situations, coordinated work and quick thinking are crucial.
Yes, Labrador, we did it! Friends, if you liked our story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are always ready for new adventures in the world of Roblox and are happy to share them with you.
Whoa, Dobie, this portal has teleported us to a new location. A volcano is erupting around us and lava is flowing beneath us. This is insane.
Yes, Labrador, this looks very dangerous. We have to be extremely careful. Look, there are many fire traps and challenging parkour ahead. We need to be quick and precise in our movements.
Right, Dobie, let's start by carefully observing the trajectory of these fire traps. We need to understand when they activate so we can dash through between the bursts.
Look, the first trap activates every 5 seconds. We have to wait for the right moment and quickly dash through. Ready?
Ready, 1, 2, 3, now. Great, I made it. Your turn, Dobie.
Here I go. Now! Who made it? Look, ahead is a narrow bridge over the lava. It looks very fragile, so we need to move slowly and carefully.
Keep your balance, Dobie. Look straight ahead and don't look down. We can make it if we're careful. One step at a time. Great, we're almost to the other side.
We did it, but there's another big fire trap ahead. We need to wait for the right moment again and dash through quickly.
Right, let's focus. Ready? 1, 2, 3, now. Whew, that was close, but we did it. Next, we need to jump over the lava flows.
Labrador, look, these platforms are moving. We need to time our jumps correctly to avoid landing in the lava. I'll jump first. Now! Great! I'm on the platform. Your turn.
Hey, here I come. Jump. Made it. We're doing great, Dobie. Just a few more jumps and we'll reach a safe place.
Come on, Labrador. Just a bit more. Jump. And another. Yes, we did it. We made it through all the fire traps in parkour.
Wow, do you see how beautiful and spooky it is here? It looks like someone is having a party. So, shall we go to their house? This clown hasn't had enough of us yet, and now we're going to play some mini games from him. Wish us luck, subscribers. Dobie, remember the story about the clown park? Recently, we were called to the clown park. There were rumors that everyone who visited the clown's room disappeared without a trace. We decided to investigate.
Yes, Labrador. Those rumors were too strange to ignore. When we entered the park, the atmosphere immediately felt sinister, especially that clown room.
Exactly, Dobie. The entrance to the room was decorated with rusty chains and cracked masks that seemed to watch our every move. We immediately felt that something was very wrong here.
Inside, it was even worse. The walls were covered with faded posters of circus performances that looked like they came from an old nightmare. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay.
Agreed. There were dolls scattered haphazardly on the floor, looking like they had been thrown in a hurry. And the walls had strange stains that resembled dried blood.
And those eerie clown paintings on the walls. They were painted with such creepy precision that it felt like the clowns were about to come to life. In the corner of the room, we found a huge chest labeled toys. But when we opened it...
Yes, inside were old tattered clown costumes and wigs. And one more thing, a small diary where someone had detailed the disappearances. It was horrifying.
Reading those entries was chilling. They described how the clown lured his victims by offering them a special performance. But none of them ever returned. We knew we had to be extremely careful.
We continued to search the room and found a hidden door behind one of the posters. Behind it was a narrow corridor leading into the darkness. We decided we had to find out what was down there.
The corridor led us to a massive door, which we found out was the dressing room.
It seems this is where the clown turned people into his friends, applying makeup to make them unrecognizable. This explains why no one ever returned. Those who left this room were completely transformed. Even their close friends and family couldn't recognize them. This is pure madness. I'm really nervous too. You never know what's waiting around the next corner, but I think this ramp might be our way out of this level.
Hold on, Labrador. We're taking off. Oh no, what is this darkness?
Hooray! We made it through this level. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned. There's a lot more exciting stuff ahead. Until next time.
Goodbye, and remember, always hold on tight on those roller coasters of horror.
Hi guys, today Dobie and I have entered the Roblox mode, Escape from Babysitter Betty's Nursery. Don't forget to like and comment.
Hi. So Labrador, we're in the nursery, and it's pretty boring here. Looks like Betty is on the phone. A perfect moment to escape.
Yeah, Betty isn't usually very attentive, but if she gets angry, she becomes a real monster. We need to act quickly and carefully. Hey, do you remember that there's also the janitor Ben?
Of course, Ben is always running around the corridors with his huge mop. He probably dreams of catching us and sending us back to the nursery.
All right, let's start. Look, we need to crawl through this hole in the wall. Hey, Dobie, don't get stuck there.
Aha! I almost thought I was stuck, but no, I made it through. Wow, look, there's a whole maze of toys here. Is that a giant teddy bear?
Yeah, exactly. Let's pass by it and carefully go down this slide. I hope it's not too slippery. Oh, I almost fell.
Ha! Watch your step, Labrador. Hey, what do you think if Betty were a superhero? What would her superpower be?
I think she could teleport so she could instantly appear next to us and send us back to the nursery. What do you think?
I think her superpower would be sleepy dust. She would put all the kids to sleep instantly so they wouldn't escape. Oh, look, there's Ben with his mop.
Quick, hide behind this bed. Oh, Ben, you have no idea how close we are to you. Ha!
Whew, that was close. Now let's go through this pillow tunnel. By the way, what if Ben were the main character in a horror movie?
That would be something. The movie would be called Killer Mop Ben Returns. Ha! All right, just a bit more. Let's get to the exit quickly.
I see the door. We just need to get past this builder block and we're free. Hey, look, Betty is back. I hope she didn't see us.
All right, Dobie. Our task is to build a tower out of blocks to climb over this playpen fence. Look, I've already started. Hand me a couple more blocks.
Got it, Labrador. Here are some more blocks. By the way, do you remember how we used to escape from our babysitter when we were kids? She always made us take naps, but we just wanted to play.
Oh, of course I remember. We used pillows as steps to climb out the window. Good times. But now we've got a similar challenge. Almost done. Climb up.
Climbing up. I hope these blocks hold. Whoa, they're wobbling. Hold on tight, Labrador. Who made it? Now we need to build a block tower to reach the ventilation. This pile will do.
Look, there's the ventilation. I'm sure Ben is there. He's always on guard. Ha! He's like our watchdog, but with a mop. Let's get to work. Blocks in place.
Oh, Ben in the ventilation is just hilarious. I remember once he chased us with his mop when we tried to steal some cookies. He should be reminded of that. All right, climbing up.
I'm right behind you. Hey, look, there's Ben. He spotted us. Dobie, do you have a plan?
Of course, let's remember our childhood tricks. Remember how we set up obstacles? We'll do the same now. Let's throw blocks at him and make a run for it.
Great idea. Take this, Ben. Here's a block. Faster, Dobie. There's the ventilation door. Push it.
Hooray, we did it. Whew, we're out. Labrador, as always, you're the best. Remember how we used to escape as kids?
Of course I remember. That time when you put a pillow under the door to keep it from creaking, and then we quietly slipped out into the garden. Ha!
And the babysitter was looking for us all over the house while we hid in the bushes eating raspberries. That was so much fun.
When Dobie and I were little, our parents decided to have an evening without kids and hired a babysitter to look after us. We got the address and went there ourselves since our street was safe and our parents thought we could handle it. Unfortunately, we got the address wrong.
Yes, Labrador, I remember how it was. We approached the house that we thought was the right one. The door opened, and a tall man in a white apron with a butcher knife in his hand stood before us. We were a bit confused, but decided he must be our babysitter since the address matched.
We entered the house and immediately felt uneasy. The kitchen had large knives hanging everywhere, and there were chunks of meat all around. We noticed a refrigerator that looked suspicious. When he opened it to grab something, we saw jars with what looked like eyes.
I remember how scared I was. Labrador and I started whispering, thinking this guy was a real murderer. He kept playing with the knife and gave us strange looks. We couldn't believe our parents sent us to such a person.
We decided we had to get out of there somehow. But when we tried to leave, he suddenly asked us what we were doing. I almost screamed in fear, but then I pulled myself together and said we wanted to take a little walk.
To our surprise, he let us go. We left the house and ran as fast as we could. We decided to go back home and tell our parents what happened. When we finally got home, Mom and Dad looked worried.
They immediately knew something was wrong. We explained what happened and they realized they had given us the wrong address. The real babysitter was waiting for us at a house on another street.
Dad decided to go back to that house and figure out what was going on. When he returned, he was laughing. It turned out that the man was a local chef preparing for a big banquet. Those eyes in the refrigerator were just pickled olives and cherries.
We laughed about it for a long time, but that incident taught us to be more careful. Ever since then, every time we see a chef with a knife, we remember that day and laugh.
It was one of those childhood adventures that stayed with us for life. Sometimes scary things turn out to be completely harmless. The main thing is not to lose your head and stay brave. Guys, don't forget to like and comment.
Dobie and I were at our station when we received an urgent call. All the babysitters in the world had suddenly started a revolt and taken over one of the daycares in our town. We quickly geared up and headed to the scene. It was hard to believe what could have caused such chaos.
When we arrived, we were met with a strange sight. Babysitters, usually so calm and caring, now looked like an army ready for battle. They had barricaded the entrance to the daycare and were shouting slogans. Some were holding toys like weapons, while others waved around diapers.
We approached cautiously, trying not to provoke more aggression. I attempted to start a conversation with the head babysitter, who seemed to be leading the revolt. She was elderly and stern, but determination shone in her eyes.
She responded that the babysitters were demanding better working conditions and higher wages. They felt undervalued and overworked. This was a full-blown babysitter revolution.
We realized the situation was serious and a peaceful solution was necessary. We suggested forming a committee to address the babysitters' issues and promised to relay their demands to the city authorities. But to do this, they needed to end the revolt and vacate the daycare.
The head babysitter thought it over and agreed. She believed we genuinely wanted to help. We arranged a meeting with the mayor and representatives from the education department to discuss the babysitters' demands.
At the meeting, the babysitters were able to voice their concerns and complaints. The mayor listened attentively and promised to take steps to improve their working conditions. It was decided to increase their salaries, improve their work schedules, and provide additional resources to aid them in their tough job.
After these negotiations, the babysitters calmed down and returned to their duties. The daycare reopened, and the children happily welcomed their babysitters back. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent the conflict from escalating and find a solution that satisfied everyone.
That day showed us how important it is to listen to people and help solve their problems. Even peaceful professions like babysitters can revolt if they are not heard. We learned to appreciate their work even more.
Yes, Labrador, it was an important lesson for all of us. We're glad we could help the babysitters and restore order in our town.
One morning, Dobie and I were at our station when we suddenly received a strange and unusual call. The message stated that a volcano had erupted in the city center, spewing money. We couldn't believe our ears, but we decided to head to the scene and figure out what was happening.
When we arrived, we saw an incredible sight. In place of the old fountain, there was now a real volcano, spewing money instead of lava. Bills, coins, gold bars. A crowd of people had gathered around, trying to catch as much money as possible, and chaos ensued.
Dobie and I realized the situation was getting out of control. People were pushing, arguing, and even fighting over the money. We had to intervene quickly to prevent a disaster. I took out a megaphone and started calming the crowd, urging everyone to move to a safe distance and avoid creating a stampede.
Meanwhile, I tried to figure out where this strange volcano came from. We noticed a scientist in a white lab coat nearby, observing the scene intently. I approached him and asked what was going on.
The scientist introduced himself as Dr. Finch and explained that he was conducting an experiment to create a source of infinite wealth. He didn't expect the experiment to get out of control and lead to a money volcano eruption. He was extremely worried and ready to help us solve the problem.
Dr. Finch and I quickly devised a plan to shut down the volcano. He explained the steps we needed to take to safely stop the eruption. While Labrador continued to manage the crowd, Dr. Finch and I worked on deactivating the machine that powered the volcano.
The work was complex and required precision, but we managed it. When the last safety switch was turned off, the eruption stopped, and the volcano began to quiet down. People calmed down, and we were able to restore order.
Dr. Finch thanked us for our help and promised not to conduct any more experiments without proper safety measures. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent a disaster and bring order back to the city.
We completed the mode. See you next time.